Apotheosis Chapter 26. Luo Zheng didn't know that, at that moment, there was someone outside Blood Red Mountain with an ugly expression. On the flat ground outside Blood Red Mountain, all of the mentors were standing guard beside a letter tablet, constantly observing the performance of the disciples on Blood Red Mountain. After the trial was over, the disciples would be assigned according to their results and rankings. But according to the rules, the disciples who passed the trial of Blood Red had one chance to choose. These mentors would observe as early as possible to make a rough assessment of the disciples participating in the trial of Blood Red Mountain. That way, they would know what to expect. Every disciple that participated in the trial of Blood and Fire had a disciple badge. Through that disciple badge, they were able to track each person. Fang Yan's expression was very ugly. He was a 9-Dragon Peak mentor, but he was also a member of the landowning Fang family. This time, the Fang family had a total of 4 people participating in the trial of Blood Red Mountain. The family had already notified him, requesting that all 4 of them successfully pass. Compared to those ordinary disciples who passed the trial, the passing rate of the landowning children was actually very high. Out of more than 1,000 trial disciples, only about 200 would pass the trial of Blood Red Mountain. And out of the 200 landowning children, 170 or 80 would pass. The reason was that most of the ordinary trial disciples had a kind of fear of the landowning children. They were afraid of the families behind the landowning children, and under normal circumstances, they didn't dare to rashly offend them. So, although there were many trial disciples, most of them had the fate of accompanying the crown prince to study. Before participating in the trial of Blood Red Mountain, Fang Yan had returned to the Fang family and solemnly promised that all 4 of them would pass the trial of Blood Red Mountain. But just now, 2 of the 4 had already been defeated. At that moment, 2 beams of light shot out from Blood Red Mountain, straight into the sky. The person in charge of the trial had already stepped onto the flying chariot, heading forward to bring back the 2 Fang family children who had been eliminated. Through the letter tablet, he had already seen the scene that had just occurred. That damned brat had acted so viciously, directly smashing the heads of the 2 Fang family children to death. If they hadn't been in the illusory array, the 2 Fang family juniors would have really been killed by that guy. What an audacious brat. It had been a long time since a trial disciple dared to treat a noble family disciple like this. Normally, when a noble family disciple failed the trial of Blood and Fire, it was either due to internal strife between noble family disciples. There were also those who were overly confident in their own strength and went to challenge the high-level mirage beasts on the 4th and 5th floor. However, they were rarely eliminated by those trial disciples who were born in the grassroots. Fang Yaji wanted to search for that brat. He continuously manipulated the letter tablet, wanting to find that brat from the information of over 1,000 people. Not long after, he found his name, Luo Zheng. But when he tried to use the disciple card to switch to Luo Zheng's image, something strange happened. The image on the jade tablet was blurry. Could it be that Xingui was broken? Fang Yanji thought to himself in bewilderment. He switched to the images of the other trial disciples, and Xink immediately returned to normal. What was going on? What Fang Yanji didn't know was that he wasn't the only one who had encountered this problem. Some mentors kept switching the images to monitor the situation of each examinee. But when they accidentally jumped to Luo Zheng, they realized that the image on the jade tablet couldn't be displayed. However, these mentors didn't pay too much attention to it. They had many examinees to pay attention to, and they didn't lack one. However, out of the 33 mentors present, only one person was able to track Luo Zheng. That person was Mentor Su. Mentor Su's charming face had a mischievous smile. She was staring intently at the jade tablet, and Luo Zheng's image was displayed on the jade tablet. Earlier, when she used the excuse of checking the disciple cards, she had tampered with Luo Zheng's disciple card. Now, among all the mentors, no one except her could see Luo Zheng's performance. As long as this was the case, no one would pay too much attention to Luo Zheng. But someone should have noticed the battle just now, right? Mentor Su was still a little nervous. Others couldn't track Luo Zheng, but they could observe the scene through other people. She hoped that the kid would obediently gather enough crystals to pass the trial and stop fighting with others. But then again, those landowning household disciples were really annoying. They were always stirring up trouble. Mentor Su curled her lips helplessly. Things wouldn't develop as Mentor Su expected. Fang Yanji was already filled with rage at the fact that 2 of his disciples had been eliminated. There were a total of 4 people from the Fang family participating in the trial of blood and fire. 3 of them were branch family disciples and were relatively weak. However, one of them was a direct descendant. He was the 3rd son of the Fang family head. His name was Fang Yushu. He had outstanding talent and was very strong. He used the jade tablet to connect it to Fang Yushu's disciple card and transmitted his voice over. This was against the rules of the trial of blood and fire, but Fang Yanji couldn't care less now. Yushu, Zhen, and Ping have both been eliminated. Someone was ruthless to them, Fang Yanji whispered to Xink. What? Who dares to lay a hand on the Fang family? Fang Yushu was currently moving quickly in the 3rd level of the illusion realm. Behind him, there were 6 level 3 mirage beasts tailing him. However, he wasn't the least bit flustered and was even calmly chatting with Fang Yanji. It's a kid called Luo Zheng. He doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. He actually dared to lay a hand on Zhen, and the others, Fang Yanji said hatefully. The reason why he was so angry was because Zhen was his nephew. In the huge Fang family, Zhen was the closest person to him. In comparison, as a direct descendant, Fang Yushu wasn't that close to Fang Yanji by blood. I know. Where is that kid now? Fang Yushu asked. I'll give you his location. He's still in the 2nd level. Although Fang Yanji couldn't see Luo Zheng's image, he could still check Luo Zheng's location. That's enough. I'll deal with the mirage beasts behind me and get rid of him, Fang Yushu said coldly. In fact, in Fang Yushu's heart, the stupid pigs in the family didn't even have the right to enter the Blue Cloud sect. If they were eliminated, so be it. It wasn't a big deal. However, these stupid pigs also had the surname Fang. Anyone who dared to challenge the Fang family's prestige would have to pay the price. Yushu, that guy's strength shouldn't be weak. If you can't beat him, you can consider swallowing the arcane state pill. Fang Yanji advised. The Fang family was a family of alchemists. Their family had produced many famous alchemists. The arcane state pill was a priceless pill that could forcefully raise one's cultivation level by a level in a short period of time. It could greatly increase one's strength at a critical moment. However, this pill could only be used by people below the Xiantian stage. It was also very difficult to refine, so even Fang Yushu only had one on him. Uncle Yanji, you're doubting my strength, Fang Yushu said coldly. He was the son of the head of the family. Even if Fang Yanji was now a teacher in the Blue Cloud sect, his status couldn't be compared to Fang Yanji's. Therefore, Fang Yushu didn't have much respect for Fang Yanji. Just as Fang Yushu finished speaking, he stomped his feet and his body flew horizontally. He spun twice in the air, and the short dagger in his hand drew a bright blue line in the air. The mirage beasts that had been chasing him were instantly cut in half when they came into contact with the long line. They turned into specks of light and slowly dissipated in the air. 6 level 3 mirage beasts were killed in one move. Seeing this, Fang Yanji's heart thumped. He realized that he had said something wrong. With Fang Yushu's strength, his future was limitless. He naturally had to curry favor with him. Therefore, he laughed softly and said, I'm overthinking. Yushu's strength is outstanding. Today on Blood Mountain, you're invincible. Hearing Fang Yanji's words, Fang Yushu expressionlessly walked in the direction he was pointing. At this time, Luo Zheng continued to walk deeper into Blood Mountain after killing 2 level 2 mirage beasts. However, not long after, an expression of not knowing whether to laugh or cry appeared on his face. In front of him stood about 20 landowning households. These guys had actually set up a roadblock in front of him. Anyone who wanted to pass through this roadblock had to hand over all their crystal shards.